Hello, welcome to our classes, my YouTube channel. I am Dr. KK MISHRA. This is multiple choice questions on financial derivatives part 6. Now directly come to the question. 1. If a bank manager wants to protect the bank against losses that would be incurred on its portfolio of treasury securities, should interest rates rise? He could. Options are A. By put options on financial futures, B. By call options on financial futures, C. Sell put options on financial futures, D. Sell call options on financial futures. Correct option is A. By put options on financial futures. Question number 2. The main disadvantage of hedging with futures contracts as compared to options on futures contracts is that futures options are remove the possibility of gains, B. Increase the transactions cost, C. Are not as an effective a hedge, D. Do not remove the possibility of losses. Correct option is A. Remove the possibility of gains. Now question number 3. All other things held constant, premiums on options will increase when the options are A. Exercise price increases, B. Volatility of the underlying asset falls, C. Term to maturity increases, D. A and C are both true. Correct option is C. Term to maturity increases. Question number 4. All other things held constant, premiums on call options will increase when the options are A. Exercise price falls, B. Volatility of the underlying asset falls, C. Term to maturity decreases, D. Futures price increases. Correct option is A. Exercise price falls. Now move to next slide. Question number 5. An increase in the exercise price, all other things held constant, will dash the call option premium. Options are A. Increase, B. Decrease, C. Increase or decrease, D. Not enough information is given. No, correct option is B. It will decrease. Question number 6. All other things held constant, premiums on options will increase when the options are A. Exercise price increases, B. Volatility of the underlying asset increases, C. Term to maturity decreases, D. Futures price increases. Correct option is B. Volatility of the underlying asset increases. Now question number 7. Hedging by buying an option. Options are A. Limits gains, B. Limits losses, C. Limits gains and losses, D. Has no limit on option premiums, E. Has no limit on losses. Correct option is B. Limits losses. Question number 8. An increase in the volatility of the underlying asset, all other things held constant, will dash the option premium. Options are A. Increase, B. Decrease, C. Increase or decrease, D. Not enough information is given. Correct option is A. Increase. Question number 9. A tool for managing interest rate risk that requires exchange of payment streams is a. Options are A. Futures contract, B. Forward contract, C. Swap, D. Micro hedge, E. Macro hedge. Correct option is C. Swap. Question number 10. A financial contract that obligates one party to exchange a set of payments it owns for another set of payments owned by another party is called a. Options are A. Hedge, B. Call option, C. Put option, D. Swap. So correct option is D. Swap. Viewers, all correct answers are highlighted here. In case of any discrepancy found in any question, that will be corrected through my narration. Now question number 11. A swap that involves the exchange of a set of payments in one currency for a set of payments in another currency is a or an. Options are A. Interest rate swap, B. Currency swap, C. Swaptions, D. National swap. Correct option is B. Currency swap. Question number 12. A swap that involves the exchange of one set of interest payments for another set of interest payments is called a or an. Options are A. Interest rate swap, B. Currency swap, C. Swaptions, D. National swap. Correct option is A. Interest rate swap. Question number 13. A firm that sells goods to foreign countries on a regular basis can avoid exchange rate risk by options are A. Buying stock options, B. Selling puts on financial futures, C. Selling a foreign exchange swap, D. Buying swaptions. Correct option is C. Selling a foreign exchange swap. Now question number 14. The most common type of interest rate swap is options are A. The plain vanilla swap, B. The basic swap, C. The swaption, D. The national swap, E. The ordinary swap. The plain vanilla swap. Question number 15. One advantage of using swaps to eliminate interest rate risk is that swaps, options are A, are less costly than futures, B, are less costly than rearranging balance sheets, C, are more liquid than futures, D, have better accounting treatment than options. Correct option is B, are less costly than rearranging balance sheets. Question number 16. If a second national bank has more rate-sensitive assets than rate-sensitive liabilities, it can reduce interest rate risk. The swap that requires second national to options are A. Pay fixed rate while receiving floating rate, B. Receive fixed rate while paying floating rate, C. Both receive and pay fixed rate, D. Both receive and pay floating rate. Correct option is B. Receive fixed rate while paying floating rate. Now question number 17. An advantage of using swaps to hedge interest rate risk is that swaps, options are A, are less costly than futures, B, can be written for long horizons, C, are not subject to default risk, D, are more liquid than futures, E, have better accounting treatment than options. Correct option is B, can be written for long horizons. Question number 18. The disadvantage of swaps is that they, options are A, lack liquidity, B, are difficult to arrange for a counterparty, C, suffer from default risk, D, all of the above. Correct option is D, all of the above. Now question number 19. If a bank has more rate sensitive assets than rate sensitive liabilities, options are A, it reduces interest rate risk by swapping rate sensitive income for fixed rate income, B, it reduces interest rate risk by swapping fixed rate income for rate sensitive income, C, it increases interest rate risk by swapping rate sensitive income for fixed rate income, D, it neutralizes interest rate risk by receiving and paying fixed rate streams, E, it cannot reduce its interest rate risk. Now if you compare these very options, highly applied one, you will find A to be correct, that it reduces interest rate risk by swapping rate sensitive income for fixed rate income. Question number 20. A disadvantage of using swaps to control interest rate risk is that options are A, swaps cannot be written for long horizons, B, swaps are more expensive than restructuring balance sheets, C, swaps like forward contracts lack liquidity, D, all of the above are disadvantages of swaps, E, only A and B of the above are disadvantages of swaps. Correct option is C, swaps like forward contracts lack liquidity. Question number 21. The problems of default risk and finding counterparties for interest rate swaps has been reduced by options are A, government regulation, B, writing complex contracts, C, commercial and investment banks serving as intermediaries, D, all of the above, E, both B and C of the above. Correct option is C, commercial and investment banks serving as intermediaries. Now question number 22. If Second National Bank has more rate sensitive liabilities Then rate sensitive assets, it can reduce interest rate risk with a swap that requires second national 2. Options are A. Pay fixed rate while receiving floating rate. B. Receive fixed rate while paying floating rate. C. Both receive and pay fixed rate. Or D. Both receive and pay floating rate. Correct option is A. Pay fixed rate while receiving floating rate. So this was all about this video tutorial. This is the last video tutorial of this series on financial derivatives. I hope that the entire series, all part 6, definitely taken together will help you in writing better in your examinations. Thank you very much. Please like, share, and do not forget to subscribe and press the bell button and pass it on to others, those who are in need of this content. Thank you very much. Have a nice time. Best of luck.